Hi, good morning everyone. Again, so welcome to my FabM class for today. I am Miss Lisa Aguilar, the SHS coordinator of AIM University and the online learning coordinator. I am your OLC in homeroom and in FabM. So if you have any concern or questions, you may contact me inside the LMS. So later I will teach you how. Okay? So welcome to our virtual class for today. But first, let's play a game. Okay? So who wants to have a game for today? All you have to do is to guess or to comment what is the jumbled letter. Okay, so naka-jumbled yung mga letters and then you need to tell me what is the correct word. And it should be connected with FAB-M, of course, with our subject. Okay, so for the first word, ayan, for the first word, what is this? Okay, who will be our, no, comment, kindly comment. If you know the answer, kindly comment. Okay, for our warrior, keyboard warrior for today, it is Charles Odulio. Okay, I will just screenshot that for. Okay, very good, Charles, for getting the correct answer. Okay, so I will connect that word later with our topic. So next, okay, what is this? What is this word? Okay. Jessa, but you're correct, Jessa, but kulang ng S. Yes. So, nag-follow up yung S, okay? So, the correct answer is resources. So, very good for our keyboard warrior for today. For the second keyboard warrior is Aifalin May Gaspar. Very good for getting the correct answer. Okay. Next. Next word. What is this word? Okay. So, for our keyboard warrior for the third is, the correct answer is management. I will choose. Okay, so yung una si Charles. Charles got the first answer. Second is Aifaline. And then the third one is Marian. Okay? For the fourth one, for the fourth word, ready na ba? Ready? Okay, for the next word, what is this word? Okay, just you're not yet sure with your answer. The correct answer is overhead. Okay? Overhead with a question mark. Okay, so for the last word, okay, bawi sa mga hindi pa nakakasagot. For the last word, what is this word? Okay, so Samantha got the correct answer, which is inventory. Ayan. Very good for the 5 students who get the correct answer for today and for being active and fast for the answer. Okay, so let's now proceed with our, okay, these are the correct answer. Number 1, product. Number 2, resources. Number 3, management. Number 4 is overhead. And the last is inventory. Okay? Okay, so for today, we are going to discuss what are the forms of business organization. Okay? What is business? By the way, may I know who among you have your own business? Sige, sino? Diba, especially during this time that there are a lot of people who establish their business. For all those students who won for today, kindly PM me in the LMS. Okay, just PM me. Okay? Walang may business sa inyo? Kahit sari-sari store or online, ganyan. Meron. Okay. So, isa lang. Okay. So, very good. Yes. Okay. So, most of you are all into business, which is okay, which is very good because PubM is connected with business. Okay, so let's define what is a business. A business is defined as an organization or enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities. And businesses can be for profit or non-profit. What do you think is the difference between a business that is for profit and business for non-profit? Anyone who can differentiate non-profit from for-profit organizations? Okay. When we say for-profit organization, the main purpose of your business is to have profit or kita in Tagalog, di ba? Your purpose is to have money in that business. But when we say non-profit organization, you are there not to have a money, but to help other people, diba? Just like the charity or the organization who are selling things not for themselves, but for other people. So the term business also refers to the organized efforts and activities of individuals to produce and sell goods and services for profit. So later, we are also going to discuss what are the types of business, okay, in regard with this definition. So business is a group of people. You cannot have a business if you're alone, diba? Or for example, if you are alone and you're having a business, you might have a hard time organizing or managing that kind of business. Okay, so what for the first form of business organization is the sole proprietorship. Okay, so when we say sole proprietorship, it is a business owned by one person. Okay, so isa lang yung may-ari or isa lang yung nagmamanage. Okay? So just like, what are the example of sole proprietorship? Yung mga sari-sari store, di ba? Yung mga small businesses. Kasi, syempre, if you're one, you can only serve few people. Ba? So what are the advantages of sole proprietorship? So the first one is easy formation. When we say easy formation, madali siyang buuin, madali siyang i-register, madali siyang i-organize. Kasi nga, you're the only one, you're the only mind who is managing the business. Next is direct motivation. Of course, if you're the only one who will work for your business, wala eh. Wala kang magagawa kundi ikaw yung talagang gagawa mostly ng mga bagay. Okay? For example, just like your for those who have their own business. For example, you have your sari-sari store and then the owner of that sari-sari store is your mom. So, di ba, among your family members, who is the busiest managing the business? Of course, your mom. You may help, but again, the number one who is doing things regarding the business is your mother. Okay? Better control, of course, because you're the only one, you have the 100% control of the business. If you want the business to be in this way, then that would be. Then it will happen. Next, promptness in decision making. Okay, for sure you already have experience being in a group. Sige, sino sa inyo yung nasa grupo na when you were still in junior high school? Di ba? If you're in a group, what is happening? You have your own ideas. And then, ang nangyayari, dahil sa ang daming gusto ng ganito, gusto ng ganyan, wala eh. At the end of the day, usually, walang nangyayari. Okay? But if you're the only one who will decide, then wala eh. You need to go on with that decision. Okay? Easy dissolution. When we say easy dissolution, for example, you woke up one day and you doesn't want to continue your business, it's okay. You might do something, but pero compared to other form of businesses, sobrang madali lang siya. Just like, di ba nga, just like my example a while ago, if you have your own sari-sari store, and you woke up one day that you don't want anymore to sell, and you just remove your products and use it for your own benefits, di ba? So, wala na. Wala ka ng sari-sari store, di ba? And next is no corporate tax payments. Of course, that would be discussed later with corporation. And then the disadvantage, limited resources. Of course, kung ikaw lang yung may-ari ng business, okay. When we say resources, by the way, class or students, when we say resources, it can be money, it can be yung ideas, strength, or yung mga assets. Di ba usually, have you noticed this? That madaming nakakapagtayo ng sari-sari store, but only few are going concern. It means, konti lang yung papatuloy. Kasi, very limited lang yung resources. Eh kapag inutang pa yung mga product, di ba? O kaya kinain ng anak ang mga product, wala na. So, mahihirapan ng maibili ulit. Next, limited managerial capability. Yes, of course. Kasi in one businesses, marami kasi ginagawa sa isang negosyo, di ba? It can be marketing, production, selling, mga inventory. If ikaw lang yung magmamanage, pwede ding magulo. Pwede ding hindi mo makita yung mga nangyayari talaga inside the company. Kaya nga sabi ko, maraming sari-sari store ang nawawala din, hindi nagtatagal, kasi marami siyang iniisip. Bibili pa siya ng product, magpipresyo, magtitinda. Eh kapag yung nagtitinda, hindi honest. Diba? So, that is one of the disadvantages of the sole proprietorship. Next, in unlimited liability. When we say unlimited liability, sarado na yung businesses. Kunwari, umutang ka because of your sari-sari store. Nagsara na siya. Pero, kahit sarado na yung sari-sari store, yung mga nagpautang sa'yo, it can be the 5, 6, or anyone, pwede ka pa rin nilang habulin sa pagkakautang mo. At hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, close na yung tindahan ko eh. Lugi na ako eh. No. You should pay them because they know you, diba? As the owner of the company or the sari-sari store. Uncertainty of continuity. Ayan. So, walang kasiguraduhang magtatagal, diba? Just like your relationship. When we say uncertainty of continuity, yun nga, hindi siya pang matagalan. Yun na lang. Ang mga businesses ng sole proprietorship. Because of many reasons. Resources, yung yung capability ng may-ari, di ba? Etc. Okay, next. The next forms of business organization is partnership. Ayan. So when we say partnership, it is a contract whereby two or more persons bind themselves to contribute money, property, or industry into a common fund with the intention of dividing profits among themselves. The formation of the partnership requires some form of a written or oral agreement. So, for example, may-ari ka ng isang sari-sari store and you decided to make it big, okay? But you realize that you cannot do it on your own. So you ask for example, ikaw, sige, I have an example here. I'm not selling, I am just using this an example. Okay, for example, I am making these earrings. Ayan. And nakita ko na meron siyang potential. Nakita ko na magiging mabenta siya, ganyan. But I realized I don't have enough money. Okay? So I asked a family member, my sister or my mom to support me in this business. So I am no longer a sole proprietorship and they are my partner. For example, ako yung gagawa ng product, but they will be the one who will give me the money to do the production. Okay? So we are contributing our money, property, industry, or other resources for this kind of business. But we should have a written agreement. Okay? Actually, it can be a written or oral agreement. But the problem is with oral agreement, it can be easily denied. Kasi di ba pag sinabi mo, di ba sabi mo 50-50 tayo sa kita, pero walang written agreement. Di ba? At the end of the day, pwedeng sabihin, hindi ko sinabi yan. So, it is much, much, much better to have a written agreement. Next, what are the advantages of partnership? Easy to organize, just like the sole proprietorship. Unlimited liability. That's also the advantage. Next, huge resources. Number 4, better management. When we say pala, I think when we say huge resources, because you have a lot of money, of course, di ba? Kasi may bigayan, di ba? Nag-contribute every, by the way, when we say partnership, hindi sinabing dalawa lang palagi. It can be 3 or more, di ba? And then, better management, syempre, two head is better than one. Kasi pag ikaw lang, pwedeng hindi mo nakikita yung every angle. But when you have your partner, they can comment, they can suggest, they can react with every decision na gagawin. Next is better distribution of profits. Of course, it depends on the written agreement if sino yung 50-50 or it can be 70-30 or 60-40 with the profit. Next, disadvantage and limited liability of the partners. Of course, if you are one of the partner of that business, kapag nalugian, yung mga nang pinagkautangan nyo, they can also call you, di ba, para lang mabayaran. Because they know you at may hawak sila sa inyo. Partners are solidarity liable. Kapag, for example, namatay yung isang partner, affected ka rin, di ba? Yun lang yung problem sa partnership. And then conflict arise, of course, if you are more than one in the business, nagkakaroon ng mga conflicts, di ba? And problems na hindi naman. I think, Jean K. Cruz, I just made a mistake with my presentation that it should not be there. It should be in the disadvantages. So thank you for that question and thank you for the correction. So it should be in the disadvantages. Okay? Next, another form of business organization is the corporation. So a company group of people authorized to act as a single entity or legally person and recognized as such in law. Do you know one of the, ang corporation kasi, maybe nabasa niyo na yung mga accounting principle, di ba? One of the accounting principle is yung, if you, diba? If you build a company, yung pera ng company and then yung pera mo is different from each other. Diba? So, hindi mo pwedeng, kapag may 50,000 yung business, hindi mo siya pwedeng kunin na lang ng basta-basta. And one of the very good thing about corporation, kapag tinayo mo yung corporation, hindi na siya nakatay sa'yo. Ibig sabihin, for example, si Henry C., di ba? He was the one who established SM. But look at SM. Nung nawala ba si Henry C., nawala din yung SM? Di ba hindi? Nagpatuloy siya. Because that's one of the advantages of corporation. Kahit mawala yung pinaka nagtayo, it will still continue because it is already considered as a single entity or legally a person. Okay? So, kaya ang advantage niya is limited liability for the owners. Kasi pag nangutang si SM, hindi naman, kunyari si SM nangutang kay BDO. Diba? Kahit same lang naman nangyayari. Si BDO, kahit ang nangutang sa kanya ay si Mr. A, hindi niya pwedeng singilin si Mr. A. Kasi ang ginamit ni Mr. A na pangalan is the SM. Okay? So, hindi niya pwedeng, pag hindi nagbayad sa SM, hindi niya pwedeng habulan si Mr. A. Kasi nga, yung corporation na yun is already a single entity or a legal person. Naintindihan ko? Okay, number 2, shares of ownership are transferable. So, if you are watching telenovelas, di ba? There are comments na, no, I will buy your stocks or I will buy your shares, di ba? So, once na nabili, for example, si Mr. A, siya yung nagtayo ng business, but in the long run, nalulugi siya or nawala siya ng pera, si Mr. B, pwede niyang bilhin yung share ni Mr. A. Alam niyo ba, ganyan yung if you are going to watch yung The Founder, yung story ng McDonald's, alam niyo ba yung McDonald's, yung pinaka-may-ari niya, along the way, hindi siya yung na-consider na may-ari talaga. Kasi merong, I forget the name, pangalanan lang natin siyang Mr. A. Si Mr. A, binili niya, nakipag-partner siya sa McDonald's Brothers. And then, dahil si Mr. A, magaling siya sa business, ganyan. So, dumating sa point na nakuha niya yung pagmamayari, yung pangalan ng McDonald's. Naging corporation yung McDonald's. Binili niya sa McDonald's, sa magkapatid. So, ang naging ending, siya yung parang pinakamayari. At nawalan ng karapatan yung McDonald's Brothers. If you will have time to watch that, I really suggest kasi maiintindihan niyo lalo yung corporation or any other term of business. Okay? Next, continuity. Of course, sabi ko nga, kahit mawala yung may-ari, it will still continue kasi hindi naman yung may-ari yung may key. The title of that movie is The Founder. It is in Netflix. Yan, pwede niyo siyang panoorin. Next, it attracts more investors. Of course, corporation is a big company. So, pag nakita ng mga investors na, yung pera ko lalago dito, di ba? So, they will invest. Kaya nga meron tayong mga stocks. Kasi yung mga sa San Miguel Corporation, sa Jollibee Corporation, or any other corporation, pag nailagay ka ng pera dyan at naging maayos naman at kumita, yan. So, magkakaroon ka ng pera. Yung alam niyo yung mga stocks na yun, ginagamit din yun ng mga businesses to continue with their expansion of the business. Okay? If you are really into accounting or into business, I really suggest that there are a lot of movies in Netflix connected with how money works. Diba? Kung paano yung mga stocks, you may also watch that. Next, centralized management. Because it is already a corporation, every decision ay nanggagaling sa centralized or dun sa utak ng negosyo. Di ba, just like SM or katulad nga rin ng McDonald's. Pansinin niyo, di ba? Sino yung nakapagtrabaho sa inyo sa McDonald's? Or Jollibee? Sino naging service ko sa inyo? Or napansin niyo ba na kahit nasang part ka ng mundo or hindi na lang, Pilipinas na lang, they have the same taste ng mga product nila. They have the same system na pina-follow because corporation is a very systematic organization, diba? They have a centralized management. Okay? So, every decision usually ay nanggagaling sa kanilang central offices. Next. Okay, let's now proceed with the disadvantage of corporation. Number 1, incorporation is costly. Of course, you are building a big company, diba? Incorporation is costly. Of course, if you're building a corporation, it would cost you a lot of money. That's why you need to have a lot of investors. Next, corporations are highly regulated. Of course, it will be monitored and it will be regulated by the government. Kasi syempre, ang pinag-uusapan dyan, million, billion. So, hindi ka pwedeng yung every financial statements are being questioned, di ba? If there are irregularities. Next, limited liability may discourage creditors. Okay, basahin ko ulit. Limited liability may discourage creditors. Sa anong pinagkaiba? Sige. Anong pinagkaiba ng investors sa creditors? Okay, when we say investors, you are giving money for the additional capital, okay? So, gusto mong kumita kasi ng pera. So, ano yun? Voluntary that you are giving your money and you're expecting that it will be doubled or it will be tripled. But the problem with investing is there's a big risk, di ba? Big risk na hindi na siya babalik sa'yo or hindi na siya pwedeng babalik pero hindi na siya kikita, parang gano'n. Pag sinabi kasi natin creditors, nagpapautang ka, okay? So, at the end of the day, you are expecting that your money would be would be given back to you, diba? Eh, kasi nga, diba, sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, kapag, kunwari, si Mr. A nangutang para sa corporation, hindi siya pwedeng habulin ng nangutang ng pinagkautangan niya. Diba? Ang hahabulin niya is yung company. Eh, alam niyo ba, ang isang corporation, ano yan, binubuo din niya ng maraming legal team. Ibig sabihin, maraming attorney, etc. So, it will be hard for the creditors na maningil kapag hindi sila nabayaran. That's why, hindi talaga sila madalas, minsan, napapautang ang mga corporation. Okay? But it's okay because we have a lot of investors. So, that's the reason why. Next, it is not easy to dissolve. Of course, it is considered a legal person or one entity. So, it will not be easy na, kunyari, pabayaan mo lang. No. Maraming manghahabol sa'yo. You need to, there are steps or there are ways for you to dissolve the business. Okay? Next is, for the last form of business is the cooperative. It is a business organization owned by a group of individuals. Are you familiar with co-op? Or saan nyo naririnig yung co-op? Sige nga. Usually, saan nyo naririnig yung word na co-op? Di ba usually when you were still in your junior high school, especially for those who graduated from public school, there is a co-op inside the inside the school. And that cooperative was managed by whom? Sino yung nagmamanage ng mga co-op sa mga sa public school? Sige nga. No, there's no interest. Okay, so usually ang nagmamanage talaga nun ay ang mga group of teachers, di ba? Yung mga teachers. So pag sinabi natin cooperative, it is a group of people um, with the same profession or kung ano yung same na ginagawa nila. For example, yung mga magsasaka, they also have their cooperative, di ba? And usually, ang binibenta sa mga cooperative nila is kung ano din yung mga pangangailangan nila. Ngayon, bilang magsasaka, ano ba yun? Yung mga binhi, yung mga pataba, and etc. Okay? And member, directors, managers, and employees are not liable for any debt incurred unless they are the result of recklessness. So just like the corporation, sa cooperative ay mahirap din magpautang kasi ang hahabulin mo ay yung buong kooperatiba, hindi yung tao lang. Okay? Next, democratic style of management. So these are the advantage of cooperative. Generally inexpensive to register. And cooperative is being registered in CDA or Cooperative Development Authority. And all members must be active in the cooperative. Members have equal vote at a general meeting regardless of their level of investment or involvement. For example, ikaw, for example, si Jessa, siya yung laging busy sa co-op. Pero alam niyo ba at the end of the voting, kung magkakaroon man ng voting or general meeting, same lang yung vote niya. Isang vote lang din yun. Ibig sabihin, whether you're the busiest person inside the cooperative or you have a lot of position, ganyan, ganun pa rin, hindi mabigat yung Di ba unlike sa sa corporation, kapag mas malaki yung shares mo or yung part mo sa business, malaki yung bigat ng sasabihin mo or ng comment mo or ng suggestion mo. But in cooperative, hindi. So pare-parehas lang. And that also the disadvantage din yun. Kasi if you are doing a lot of things inside the cooperative but still you have the same vote as the others, di ba? Parang unfair yun. But that's the disadvantage, okay? And as a cooperative are formed to provide service to members rather than a return on investment. So the primary purpose of cooperative is to serve to your members, hindi para kumita. Which is disadvantage kasi, for example, there's someone who borrowed money from the cooperative. So may mga pagkakataon na matagal maibalik or hindi na maibabalik. So, ano yun? Mahirap yun sa isang cooperative. Diba? Members, there is usually limited distribution of profits to members. Next, members providing greater involvement or investment than others will still only get one vote. So just like what I have discussed a while ago, requires members ongoing programs for members. Okay, so let's now proceed with the type of business according to activities. So, konti na lang to. Kapit lang kayo. So, service business are those businesses that are providing services. Ano yung mga example nun? Mga professional, just like me. I'm not offering or selling anything. I'm just serving you with my professional ability, diba? Which is teaching you. And for example, you will also visit a lawyer. The lawyer will not sell you a product or a paper or anything else. They will just offer you their service na, ayun, pagtatanggol kayo, di ba? They will defend you in the court, etc. They will suggest you or advise you with the things that you need to know. Repair shop, of course, if you need to repair, if may, kunyari, mga shoes natin or mga gamit natin na kailangan gawin, that is under also the service business. Banks, brokers, consultants, and schools. I hope that is clear with you. Next is the merchandising business. So, sabi niyo nga kanina, meron sa inyo yung mga online businesses, di ba? So, if you have that, di ba, yung mga binibenta nyo, that is in the merchandising business. So, kanina, di ba, I asked you to, yung sa inventory, one of the answers is inventory. So, when we say inventory, ito yung mga product na binibenta mo, yung mga stocks mo, and that is under the merchandising business. Okay? And for the merchandising business can be yung wholesaler or yung retailer. Yung syempre, pag retailer, patingi-tingi pa isa-isa. Pag wholesaler, yung madamihan. Just like what you are buying from the Divisoria. If you're buying a lot of products. And then the last one is the manufacturing business. Manufacturers are also called fabricators or yung mga Procter and Gamble. Kasi gumagawa ng mga products. Yung gardenia, di ba? Manufacturers din sila. Kasi sila yung gumagawa mismo ng product nila. Okay? So, i-ano ko na to. So, I have an activity here. Magpapakita ako ng business and then sasabihin niyo sa akin kung yun ba ay service, manufacturing, or sige, pag service, S lang. Pag manufacturing, MF. Pag merchandising, M. Again, pag ang sagot ay service, anong ita-type nyo? S. Kapag manufacturing, MF. And kapag merchandising, M lang. Okay? So, are you ready for our activity? For the first kind of business, okay, what is the answer? Okay, 1 point again for Samantha. Okay, JNT is just offering their business through delivering your product. Next. What is the answer for the next? The correct answer for number 2 is S. They are just providing you a service kasi they are serving you. They are serving you food. Diba? Actually, they are not manufacturing. They are just pure service. Diba? You are paying them to serve you food. Okay? Next, number 3. Okay, very good, Ronette Junel Pineda. The correct answer is manufacturing. Okay, number 4. Okay, correct. Jessa Makadla. 4 is service because they are just providing you a service. A service. Talagang literal na service. And then number 5. Okay, the correct answer for number 5 is M or merchandising. Very good, Ronette Junel Pineda. So, ang mini stop is under the retailer kasi talagang patingi-tingi lang naman yung binibenta nila. Okay, number 6. Okay, so the Lima Marvi, the correct answer is service. Ayan. So, because they are just editing, they are serving you through editing your videos. Diba? Okay, next, number 7. The correct answer is M. Merchandising. Diba? they are selling their product. Di ba yung mga nagla-live, di ba, usually isa-isa lang, ganyan. Okay, number 8. Number 8. S for Samsung. The correct answer is manufacturing. So, Ronette, Janelle, Pineda get the correct answer because, di ba yung Samsung, sila yung mismong gumagawa ng mga cellphone nila. So, parang secondary na lang yung service kung nasira, ganyan. But it is manufacturing. Okay, for number 9. Okay, the correct answer is M. Aliyah, Jasmine De Leon get the correct answer. It is merchandising, di ba? Bakit siya naging service? But the correct answer is merchandising. Okay, for the last one. Okay, Delima Marvi got the correct answer. It is S because they are providing you a service, which is education. Okay, I think that's all. So, we will, have you, did you enjoy our virtual class today? So that we can have our class again next week. Okay, we will have again our class next week. And I think it's about, let me review first. If you have any problem or question, you may PM me. So I'm sure you already know how to communicate with your OLC. Okay? Sige, I want to hear all of you. Wait lang. So that's all for today. Thank you.